Hey, so a lot of you guys have found me in this controversy, but you maybe don't know who I am, and maybe you don't know the whole story, so I figured I owed you guys a little bit of a story time. So, my name is James Haar. I run a socialist clothing brand called Comrade Workwear. I've been doing it for 3 years. I built my accounts up to like a total of like 110K followers in those 3 years. And recently, the NYPD and right-wing media got all of my accounts banned and basically tried to ruin my business because of a deck of playing cards. So like what I do is make like politically relevant and motivated works of satire, works for education, things like that. And after this, like the sensational stuff around Luigi Mangioni's alleged assassination, there's a lot of anger around CEOs and all this stuff. And so I started posting about it and making art about it. And then on last Saturday, in the morning, I got a message from a follower and they said, "Hey, do you remember the 2003 Iraqi playing cards that the US government made to get the US military like really attuned to the faces of people in the Iraqi military and like power complex so that like the military could do what the military does?" I thought that would be a funny work of satire because we're all like angry about healthcare CEOs, and we're like, it's very easy for us to know like why healthcare CEOs or like healthcare as an industry is bad. And I was like, the playing cards would be a good medium to talk about people across all these different industries and why they are individually bad, but also the companies they're a part of and the systems that they're a part of. Purely entertainment and education. Wasn't suggesting violence. So literally the next day, the New York Post hits me up. Like it hasn't even been a day and the cards aren't even out yet. And they're like, "You're going to be on the front page tomorrow. If you want to put a comment in, put a thing in." So I put a comment in. I say like what the point was, not for violence, not for any of that stuff. It's for education. I do a big long socialist spiel about workers and worker power and not left or right, but top versus bottom, all that stuff. And then right after, Fox Business hits me up. Daily Mail hits me up. Newsweek hits me up. And I'm like, oh, sick. Like, all this attention. I know that, like, a lot of those guys were right-wing rags, but, cool. Like, media. I've never been in the mainstream media like that. So the next morning, I'm on the front cover of the New York Post. Literally, the cards, twisted card game. I told them that's not what it was, but they're going to sensationalize. They do the whole thing, blah, 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 blah. Literally at 9 a.m. that very same morning, the New York police show up at my front door. Plainclothes detectives show up at my front door. I'm not there. I just left 15 minutes before to go to work. And they come and they're, interrogating my fiance. And she's like, he's not here. They're very suspect about it. She ends up calling me. I tell them they can meet me near my job. And so they go down there and they meet me by my job. And we have like a 2-minute conversation. The short summary of that conversation is, do you plan on hurting any people? Are you intending for other people to hurt any people? And are you a part of any groups? No, no, no. They say, thanks. We just got to check up on this stuff now. And we're closing the case. They say that. I have an audio recording of this that I will put up at some point. So I was really anxious about that initially, but like I left that conversation feeling like, I think I'll be fine. So like it's been like maybe an hour since I've got home after this whole debacle, and like within that hour, I want to say my Instagram gets banned, and I have like no recourse. I'll put the screenshot up. One sec. Yeah, so I get this. You cannot request another review. No one can find you. Everything's gonna be permanently deleted. I have like a lot of connections with a lot of like big people on the left that I've curated these relationships for 3 years. Bye, I guess. And then, what happened after that? Oh yeah, then Shopify Legal gets an email from someone that was really upset about this thing. And they're like, do you know that someone is selling these things? And they put the link to the New York Post thing. So Shopify says, you got to take these cards down. I tell Shopify, like, look at the description, look at what they are. That's not what this is. They say, we don't care, we're taking them down. Next thing I know, my YouTube accounts have been taking it down, but not just the Comrade one. all of my personal ones too, and they're like for flagrant community guidelines violations. I don't use those, so like there was nothing for me to violate. That was just like clearly like a top-down order, probably like all of this stuff was. But this is where it gets crazy, because then I get a text from a friend and they say, look at the Luigi Mangione, like the announcement that they're making. And then this ghoul, NYPD Commissioner Tish, she also a billionaire, like they're from a billionaire family. The Tish is the 40th richest family in America. She is the commissioner of one of the most corrupt police forces in America, maybe the world. She holds up the cover of NY Post with my thing on it, and then talks about how I'm calling for people's assassinations. So not only have I told all of these journalists that's not what I'm doing, but I've also told her own detectives that that's not what I'm doing, and then she reiterates that to the public. You know, this is national news, so to the entire United States, maybe the world. I found a screenshot. Also, I have the video in like another video, you can watch that. But look at her in her very fun, crushed, like sky blue velvet suit. And so after this, now I'm like actually kind of scared, because it's feeling like very much like not case closed, like the detective said. Now I'm getting paranoid, like every time my door knocks or the elevator goes, or like just like everything seems suspect, which I'm sure is like the main point of like all these things, because like they can't get me on anything because I haven't done anything, but the intimidation is kind of like the point. But after that, now my backup Instagram for Comrade Workwear went down for being affiliated with a previous one. But then they also took down my personal Instagram. Obviously, with all this no appeal process, nothing, no. Luckily, you guys found me, like the algorithm on TikTok is like lit, and you guys found me after my TikTok got deleted, because I had like 66 or something thousand people. So now I'm gonna be talking to some lawyers. I talked to some public defender friends of mine that were like, you're very much probably good from a criminal standpoint. Obviously, you can't know these days because they're just like throwing terrorism charges around like they're candy. Oh yeah, this was the TikTok bit. And this was the backup Instagram bit. Goodbye. It was good knowing you. But after Shopify made me take down the old cards, I put up new cards that are very much different. They're totally different. And that's why I don't show what they look like on my shop, because they're totally different than the ones that you've probably seen. So you can't actually find the cards anymore on TikTok. Like, you can go to my shop from my link tree and everything, but the moment that you click on the link to the cards, it'll say that like this is unsafe and you can't do it. But you can find them on any browser. So go check those out if you want. I'll probably be shutting down pre-orders in like, I don't know, soon. I don't know when. But that's the story so far. If anything else happens, I will keep you guys in the loop. Also, everyone's like support and and all this has like meant the world, because like I've really not been doing well mentally with all this. And so you guys coming and showing love and giving me strength has been like really freaking cool. So thank you so much.